integrity of our democratic process and upholding the rule of law in our beloved nation. In late 2022, following the Labour Party's gubernatorial primaries for Ebonyi State, I emerged as the party's candidate for the seat of Governor of Ebonyi State. However, what should have been a straightforward democratic process was marred by criminality, deceit, manipulation, orchestrated by the party's former national chairman, Mr. Julius Abure. Following my emergence as the gubernatorial flag bearer of Labour Party, the state initiated a scheme to subvert the electoral process and ensured the emergence of Edward Nkwego Kreke, the owner of Barcelona Hotel in Abuja, who had participated in the All Progressive Congress, APC gubernatorial primaries in same Ebonyi State in the same circle and lost in the election. Mr. Abure, deploying multiple coercive tactics, attempted to force me to relinquish my candidacy to Edward Nkwego Kreke, which I outrightly rejected his entreaties and remained steadfast over a sustained step of harassment in my resolve not to step down as the party's legitimate candidate. Having failed to convince me, the modus operandi employed by the former chairman thereafter was nothing short of egregious. Despite my legitimate candidacy and overwhelming support within the party, Abure resorted to forgery and deception to orchestrate my removal as the Labour Party's gubernatorial candidate. He conspired with Alhaji Farouk Ibrahim, the former secretary of Labour Party, Mr. Clement Ojukwu, the former organizing secretary of Labour Party, Mrs. Olushi Okpara, the former treasurer of Labour Party, and architect Edward Nkwego Kreke, the beneficiary of the forgery, and forged my signature on a withdrawal letter forcefully indicating my voluntary withdrawal from the electoral race. This forged letter was then submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to facilitate an illegal substitution of my candidacy. I was left with utter shock when I eventually caught wind of the reprehensible actions of the former chairman. I had considered Abure a man of integrity, being the head of my party. His betrayal of my trust in such an egregious manner left me utterly dejected. More importantly, his actions had grievous implications for internal party democracy, free and fair elections, and rule of law. Shocked and dismayed by his brazen act of criminality and abuse of office, and after conferring with party stakeholders, I immediately sought recourse through legal channels to challenge the illegitimate substitution of my candidature. I sued the party and INEC to Federal High Court, Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. The judgment came in my favor that I am the authentic gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party in Ebonyi State. The judge consequently set aside the illegal substitution primary and they directed INEC to publish my name in her portal. Abure and his cohorts were not satisfied with this judgment. Consequently, they appealed it in Court of Appeal in Enugu State. Their suit was dismissed. Still not satisfied with the judgment of the Court of Appeal, they went to Supreme Court, Abuja. Their suit was further dismissed. Subsequently, I petitioned the Deputy Inspector General of Police, DIG, First Criminal Investigation Division, FCID, Abuja, which triggered a comprehensive police investigation. Despite numerous attempts by Abure to evade accountability, the diligent effort of law enforcement officials led to his eventual apprehension. However, the investigation was not without its significant challenges, as the former chairman consistently attempted to obstruct justice and evade arrest through corrupt and deceitful means after months of rigorous information gathering, cross-examination, and forensic analysis. The police investigation conclusively determined that Mr. Abure criminally forged my signature to perpetrate his illegal scheme. Throughout the investigation process, I cooperated fully with the law enforcement authorities, providing them with all necessary evidences to substantiate my claims of forgery and electoral malpractice. Despite the complexity and the obstacles encountered along the way, the FCID remained steadfast in their pursuit of justice, ultimately recommending the prosecution of Abure for his criminal actions. The case file has since been forwarded to Federal Ministry of Justice for charges to be instituted, but up to now, there has been no movement on the matter. This has begun to agitate my mind, as the perception is that the former chairman can get away with a brazen and unbridled criminality, which has further emboldened him to become even more reckless, believing that he is a sacred cow. Having received the case file and recommendation from the FCID, I am hereby appealing most passionately to the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation to ensure justice is served. The events described herein underscore the critical importance of upholding the rule of law and ensuring accountability within our democratic institutions. Those who seek to subvert the electoral process and undermine the integrity of our democracy must be held accountable for their actions. The prosecution of Abure is not only a matter of justice, but also a reaffirmation of our commitment to the principles of transparency, fairness, and accountability in governance. As the Chief Law Officer of the Federation, a renowned staunch advocate of rule of law, and a firm believer in the principles of democracy, you have a sacred duty to uphold the rule of law without fear or favor. The police recommendation for criminal charges against the former chairman and others must be treated with urgency and diligence it deserves. We must send a strong message that our democracy cannot flourish where internal party processes are corrupt and the electoral integrity is recklessly subverted. I kindly employ you to use your highly esteemed office to ensure that charges are filed against Mr. Abure and others without further delay. Let us send an unequivocal message that our great nation, the rule of law, reigns supreme and no individual is above its reach. In conclusion, I wish to express my utmost gratitude for your attention to this matter and your unwavering commitment to upholding the principles of justice and accountability. As I patiently await your intervention to allow the law to take its full course, please accept the assurances of my highest regards. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The General of Police for the investigation of these criminal activities. After the investigation that came, after the conclusion of the investigation, the police indicted Abure. After the forensic examination, I now sent Dr. Abayomi Arabambe to get me to apply for the CTC. This is the application of the CTC. This is the CTC of the police investigation report. So in this investigation report, the police clearly indicted Abure. They established that a case of prima facie has been established against Abure. I will want to read just 2 lines so that you will understand. findings. Let me read from the findings. From the investigation carried out, the following findings emerged. 1. That the complainant, Eze Oko, is a member of Labour Party Ebonyi State. That the complainant participated in Ebonyi State primary gubernatorial election held on 9th of June 2022 and emerged the winner in the primary election. That Inyapayos, Okodalentin, and Ejiofochukwu are the members of electoral panel who conducted the election for Labour Party primary in Ebonyi State. That the withdrawal letter by Eze Oko, who emerged the winner of the Ebonyi State primary election, was submitted to INEC. That the withdrawal letter allegedly signed by Eze Oko was proven to be comprehensively false and forged. That they said Eze Oko stated categorically that he did not sign the withdrawal letter. That the withdrawal letter, alongside the signature specimen of Eze Oko, was sent to forensic expert of the Nigerian Police Force for analysis. That the analysis of the signature sent to the forensic department revealed that the signature was forged. So this is the CTC of the police investigation report that I've just read from you now. Then, these are the forged documents. Here is the forged withdrawal letter that Julius Abure sent to INEC. In this forged withdrawal letter, you can see that Julius Abure used membership card number 6888, which is my own membership card number. But because he didn't have access to my card, my membership card, he now resorted to use a forged and fake membership card. This is the membership card he sent to INEC. In this membership card, you will see membership card number 41000 as against my own membership card number 6888. Then this is INEC form for withdrawing of candidates. This is what Abure filled. Here he also used EO as my signature, which is not my signature. My signature is contained in my own membership card. This is my own membership card here. This is my own membership card. As you can see, this is my membership card. You can see my name, Eze Oko Splendour. You can see my signature here. Here, you can see my image here. You can also see my membership card number 6888. So all these documents I've shown you are certified true copy. If you go to INEC, you will get them. I asked my lawyer to apply for the certified true copy, which he did, and all these things were released to him. And this is what prompted me to write a petition against Julius Abure for forgery, perjury, and criminal conspiracy in FCID Area 10 Abuja. Here is the CTC of the primary election conducted in Ebonyi State, monitored by INEC. This is the CTC. Then inside this CTC, inside this primary report, you can see this is Eze Oko, position governor, remark, elected. This is certified true copies in INEC. When I saw their manipulation and irregularity, I now went to Federal High Court. I took Abure and his co-travelers to Federal High Court, Abakaliki. This is the judgment of the Federal High Court, which is in my favor. The judge declared that the processes that that took Edward Okereke's name to INEC was manipulated. He thereby set aside the substitution primary conducted by Julius Abure and affirmed that I'm the governorship candidate of Labour Party in Ebonyi State. This is the judgment. This is the enrollment order. Permit me to just read few lines of this enrollment order. This order of the court. Upon this originating summon, filed on the 13th day of October 2022, asking for the determination of the two questions and seeking the reliefs set out therein. Parties present: Michael Odo for the plaintiff, Gabriel Onyeba for the fourth defendant, Ibrahim Obiaho for the first defendant, with S.A. Obefi, M.O. Odo leading. Then this is the order. It is hereby ordered as follows. 1. That all the reliefs of the plaintiff are granted. 2. That the publication of the name of the third defendant, Nkwego Edward Okereke, by the Independent National Electoral Commission, first defendant, on the 4th of September 2022, as the gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party in Ebonyi State for the 2023 general election is unlawful, null, and void for violating the provision of Section 29 subsection 1, 32 subsection 1, 84 subsection 1, 5B2 of the Electoral Act 2022. 3. That an order is hereby made setting aside the publication of the name of the third defendant, Nkwegu Edward Okereke, by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, first defendant, as the gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party in Ebonyi State for the 2023 general election. 4. That an order is hereby made setting aside all steps taken by the first, second, and fourth defendant in furtherance of their unlawful recognition and or publication of the name of the third defendant, Edward Okereke Nkwego, as the gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party in Ebonyi State for the 2023 general election. That first and second defendant are directed to recognize and publish the name of the plaintiff, Mr. Oko Eze, as the gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party in Ebonyi State for the 2023 general elections. That the third defendant, Edward Nkwegu Okereke, is restrained from parading himself or allowing himself to be paraded by anybody or any authority as the gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party in Ebonyi State for the 2023 general elections. That the first, second, and fourth defendants are restrained from recognizing or parading the third defendant, Edward Nkwegu Okereke, as their gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party in Ebonyi State for the 2023 general election. Issued at Abakaliki under the seal of the Honorable Court and hand of the presiding judge this 18th day of November 2022. Shibo Stephen C., Registrar. This is the enrollment order to INEC. Abure and his co-travelers weren't happy with the development. They weren't satisfied with the judgment of the Federal High Court. They now appealed the judgment to the Court of Appeal Enugu. As God may have it, we went to Court of Appeal Enugu. I still defeated them. The judgment was in my favor. This is the judgment of the appeal court in Enugu. The appeal was dismissed. They further affirming that I'm the governorship candidate of Labour Party in Ebonyi State. They were still not satisfied. They took me to Supreme Court, Abuja, and Supreme Court further dismissed their suit, thereby affirming that I am the governorship candidate of Labour Party. This is affidavit in support of personal particulars. When I fill this form, they didn't know I made photocopy of the form that I submitted to them in in the National Party Secretariat. I made a copy for myself and kept, and submitted the original to them. Abure, in his criminality, went and scanned off my signature. If you look at this photocopy, you will see my signature there. You will see my signature there. Abure went and scanned off this signature and then put in EO as a signature of a governorship candidate and took same to INEC. I was so surprised that INEC can accept that. INEC accepted it and then, removed my name from the portal and put the name of architect Edward Uhunmwonde. So when I went to INEC and applied for the CTC, I saw EO, which is not my signature. I had to petition. And the criminal aspect is concluded. The civil aspect is concluded. All against Julius Abure. This is the last publication. I had to apply for the last publication of INEC to know what they have in their portal. This is the last publication, as you can see. I'm showing it to the whole world to see. Then, this is the column for Labour Party. As against the order of the court, the competent court, INEC and Abure conspired and allowed the same name, Uhunmwonde Edward Okereke, Labour Party, Governorship, to remain in the portal. And to make matter worse, they now wrote that Edward Okereke's name came into INEC portal through court order. This is court order they wrote here. So I am asking the world to request that Julius Abure should produce the court order that allowed architect Edward Uhunmwonde Okereke's name to be in the portal, having seen all my judgments from Federal High Court, Appeal Court to Supreme Court. So this is obviously the level of criminality that is embedded in Julius Abure. Thank you and God bless Nigeria.
The criminalities, the unholy acts of Julius Abure before and during the 2023 general election. I am Imasun from Uhi in Uhunmwonde local government area of Edo State. I contested and won the substitution primary election for the position of House of Representatives, Uhunmwonde Federal constituency. Imasun Yeah. Yes, I'll give you. Conducted by LP on 13/7/2022, monitored by INEC, DSS, Police, Civil Defense Corps, etc. At that instant, the LP in Edo State forwarded my credentials to the Labour Party National Office in Abuja, which in turn forwarded those documents along with other contestants that won their own primary elections to INEC headquarters in Abuja as required by the Electoral Act 2022. And my name was listed as item 5 of the list endorsed by INEC Resident Commissioner for Edo State by virtue of the submission of my credentials by LP National Office. My name was published along other candidates in INEC first publication of names of successful candidates. To my surprise, when the final list of parties candidates was published on 20th September by INEC, behold, my name was substituted with the name of Honorable Elizabeth Onyime RTV, who contested and lost. Didn't just lose, it came a distant last in the APC House of Representatives primaries. Having seen these things, I approached a lawyer, Barrister K.O. Obamoge, SAN, who in turn requested from INEC the documents that was used to substitute me. This was when we discovered that a withdrawal letter purportedly written by me to have withdrawn from the race was submitted to INEC for my substitution. knowing that I did not at any time wrote a withdrawal letter nor deposed to any affidavit to that effect, this further made my lawyer to equally write a letter to the Federal High Court, Abuja, to confirm the authenticity of the affidavit, deposed to by those that forged these documents. And the court replied, my lawyer, that affidavit they paraded, that they used in submitting, in replacing my name, didn't emanate from their court. That it was not deposed to in that court, which means that they forged my signature, court affidavit, court revenue receipt, and some other documents, which prompted my writing a petition to IGP on November 9, 2022, to investigate this criminal act by the former national chairman and secretary and other LP officials that may be involved in these criminalities. You may ask, how did I know that it is the former chairman, secretary that did the forgery? In the 2022 electoral act, the only person that can submit documents to INEC portal or to INEC office is the national chairman. He has the code to the portal. So these documents were submitted, not just submitted by Julius Abure, they were equally signed by Julius Abure. Then, having signed these documents and submitted same to INEC, he is either the person that forged the document or a collaborator with whoever may have forged these documents. That is one. Then two, Elizabeth Ativier, who is a benefactor of this crime, of this forgery, was rumored after the substitution primary. Like I said, he contested APC primary to have, he was allegedly rumored to have paid Abure $30 million Naira that prompted Abure to remove my name. And this money was paid to a Labour Party official in the person of Comrade Abayomi Arambambi, who is willing to testify against Abure. And in turn, Arambambi now transferred the money to Abure's wife account, a Zenith bank account. I will avail you the details of that bank account. Then I almost same with him. Then I now challenged the substitution in the Federal High Court in Benin, presided over by Honorable Justice Shuaibu. On the 20th of February 2023, I got judgment that the documents they tendered were false. Because one of the documents they tendered, I will avail you the documents later, was the document signed. That's the list of successful candidates that were presented to INEC were duly signed by the INEC resident commissioner for Edo State, Mr. Alalebo. But the document they tendered, they doctored the list and removed my name and replaced it with Elizabeth Onyinye's name. So it was obvious because INEC had still have the documents. So I got judgment. Still not satisfied with that judgment, they further appeal to the Court of Appeal, Edo jurisdiction, Benin jurisdiction. On the 20th of March, I got judgment too. Court of Appeal upheld and affirmed the judgment of the lower court. Still not satisfied, they went to the Supreme Court. Same as the Federal High Court and Appeal Court, I got judgment in the Supreme Court. So that is my own travel in the hands of Julius Abure. Then going by the petition that I wrote to the IG, the case, the petition was forwarded, or rather was minuted to Force CID for investigation under the headship of retired IG Kokumo. He was the head of FCID then. Then, in the outcome, during the investigation, they said a case of prima facie was established against these people. There's something dramatic happened. When the present IG, after the retirement of DIG Kokumo, became the DIG of Force Headquarters, Abure was arrested. That is the fallout from my petition. He was arrested and brought to the Force CID and was detained. I know. He was granted an administrative bail. I was surprised. On the 20th, the case was investigated by one DSP, Uhi. I don't know his own name. I have his phone number. Uhi. I was surprised. They invited me one day that I should come to Force CID. I went to Force CID. We were in the office of the CP admin. Uhi left the case that I petitioned and started asking me when I joined Labour Party. I said, is it the case before you? The case before you is to investigate who forged my signature, court affidavit, and other documents to remove my name from my name. He said, no, when did I join Labour Party? Who was the candidate? I said, the issue of the candidature of Labour Party, Uhunmwonde Federal constituency for House of Rep, has been determined by the courts, Federal Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. Are you not going to change the verdict of those courts? In fact, I was so surprised. He said, and he confronted me. Take note of this. That the day he went to arrest Abure, because Abure resisted arrest, and in the course of arresting Abure, they broke his phone. That I should come and replace his phone. I said, I should come and pay for the sin that I didn't commit. I said, I don't have money to buy phone from you. Right from that moment, that was when my investigation took a twist. So sometime last month or so, somebody drew my attention to social media where Abure paraded some documents purportedly issued to him by the police that he was innocent of the case, that I gave false information. The police wrote to the court to establish the affidavit, and the court said it is fake. If you look at this place, the withdrawal letter that they used in removing my name from my neck portal is dated 8th of July. 8th of July 2022. Meanwhile, the receipt I paid, the 3 million naira that I paid for nomination form that they issued to me is dated 13th of July 2022, which means that I withdrew before I paid. Is that not a beauty to behold in the hand of Abure? I withdrew on the 8th and I paid on the 13th. The receipt they issued me. Then there is a letter, another letter that is of importance. Okay, the letter they sent to me through the Labour Party office, Edo State, is dated, sorry, 7th of July, that I should come to Abuja with 3 million naira. Let it be known that what I paid them, they collected cash. When I asked for Labour Party account for me to be able to pay to, they said Labour Party does not have account. That I gave them the money cash, the 3 million naira. They collected it from me cash. So in case, because I saw some documents that they are parading, that their audit, I don't know how that would have reflected in their audit. So, sir, what I want you people to know, to help me do is, one, to ask the police since I said I wrote a petition in November 9, 2022. This is 2024. Why this case have not been charged to court? What is delaying the case? I equally petitioned DSS almost same time, but I was frustrated out of that. I went to the office like 2, 3, 4 times. I didn't get positive response. So that is my plea, sir. I want Abure, Julius Abure, because we can't be saying we want to come and sanitize the system. We want to change the system of governance in Nigeria. And what we are doing is even worse than those we are coming to change. That is my appeal. And there is another thing. On the I think October 15 or 18, when our presidential candidate came to Edo, His Excellency Peter Obi, in the hall, that was after the Federal High Court judgment, a boy walked up to me with 2 fierce-looking guys with dark-goggled glasses, and he pointed to me. Yes, this is the man that is disturbing chairman. I was sitting close to Curtis Ubo, Comrade Curtis Ubo. We were sitting together. So I now looked at him. I said, how am I disturbing the chairman? That my rights was trampled on, and I decided to resist it. Is that how to disturb chairman? He said, yes, that I will see what will befall my enemy and not me. Later, I found out that the boy was Abure's junior brother. Is it Paul? I have his name. Something Abure firstly, who came to threaten me with 2 other people, threatening to kill me because I decided to speak against the injustice meted on me by Julius Abure. So, gentlemen of the press, that is what I want you people to please. My demand is very simple. The case be charged to court. The case be charged to court by police. If really they issued that document by Julius, that Julius Abure is parading, that I gave false information to the police, I have all my documents. They just charge me for false information. When we get to court, the court will not determine who is right and who is wrong. So this document, and let me also, when I went to court, he employed the services of one Olumantis to beg me not to withdraw the case from court, not to go to court. I have an audio conversation between the 3 of us. It was a conference call. Thank God for technology. You know, most of these phones, they have automatic recordings. I have the full audio of our conversation, where he told me, he was telling me that, yes, just drop this case, forget it. I will bring you to Abuja, make you the head of one committee where you will start making money. Making money. He said, the purpose of my entry the race is not to make money, it's to serve my people. You know, this poverty is a thing of the mind. All you know is making money. You were not about the victory of Labour Party, just to make money. That's what you want. I said, well, I am not interested. So I have, and I also have series of audios between me and the state chairman of Labour Party. So that is my demand, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
To tell my own part of the story concerning the illegality of Julius Abure, Chief Ambassador Dr. Yohana Mangif, Ambassador Yohana Mangif, the gubernatorial candidate of Labour Party for the just concluded election 2023, Plateau State. Yes, I passed through the primaries, gubernatorial primaries successfully. Election was witnessed by INEC. The primary election was witnessed by INEC. I scaled through as the flag bearer. I was given thereafter. I was given the return certificate by Julius Abure to run the rest. Along the line, sometimes after 1 month, I was busy doing campaign. There was a planned arrest by the Nigerian police on the 4th of August. I was taken to police custody only for me to hear that there is another primaries going on the 5th, and that I have withdrawn from the rest. So this is the letter of withdrawal they submitted at INEC for my withdrawal, which is forged. They submitted this one written 5th August 2022. I was in police custody. I came out the next day. I went to press to debunk the story that I never withdrew. They now went back again and forged another one, knowing quite all right that I was in detention on that 5th. So how will I sign withdrawal letter while I was in the cell on the 5th? So they now went and backdated another one again. This one on the 5th was the one they used in court as their own for counter affidavit in High Court. My lawyer now wrote to INEC immediately, telling INEC that INEC, be careful. That Ambassador Yohana Mangif have not withdrawn from the rest. So my lawyer intimated INEC that this letter, that they shouldn't withdraw, they shouldn't substitute my name, because I've never withdrawn. And as you can see, my name is here on the return ticket, on the return certificate of return is Yohana Mangif. But on the letter of withdrawal, the forgers make mistake. Instead of Yohana Mangif, they wrote Yohana Yilwan Mangif, which is not my name. And even the certificate of, even the membership card, they did not use my own membership. They use a different membership card different from my own. So these are letters. These are letters my lawyer wrote to Federal High Court to verify whether actually there was a sworn affidavit in the court, and they came out with the report that it is not emanated from their court. Both the two letters, both the one that was dated 2nd and 5th, the two letters were all forged. After every said and done, I now instituted the matter for criminal forgery in a magistrate court, and a court asked directed police to investigate, and this is the report of the fire court to police, that the letter did not emanate from their court, that it is forged. I'm here this morning to tell the world, and also for people to know the kind of people that are involved in a democratic system. Julius Abure, in the history of this country, I think this Julius Abure is the first criminal. We have never witnessed this kind of criminality in the history of Nigeria. If you see him, by just seeing him with human eye, you think the man is. In fact, it is quite unfortunate. Labour Party, a party is run by people who have good reputation, but it is unfortunate that this Labour Party started with a chairman with this kind of character. So, as it is today, the matter is in Force ID. Force ID, they have applied they have written to court. Court have reported, they have given their own report that the letter is forged. And because of the system we have today, INEC didn't help us. INEC itself is not helping matters. because the system is so corrupt. With this kind of illegality, they will still go to substitute somebody's name. I was substituted with one unpopular candidate in the state, one Dr. Sunday Patrick Dakum, because he gave Abure money. He told me he gave Abure about 30 million naira. That's why he would not, because Abure did not come to the Labour Party with the intention to win election. He didn't believe that Labour Party will reach this high. He was only after money. So I want the Nigerian police to be proactive in the case of illegality, issues that concern this kind of issue that concern forgery, and for Abure to even go as far as forging the stamp and affidavit of Federal High Court. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised. In fact, I think it's a slap on the Nigerian judiciary. We have to wake up, because we cannot succeed with a system, with this kind of system. Thank you very much.
You see, when I saw Abure making such statements, I was pushed to demand from the Nigerian Bar Association if actually Abure is a lawyer. Because we are all aware of the Electoral Act. In the Electoral Act, what we have is aspirant and candidate. If you are an aspirant, what it means is that you have not been voted for, you have not been nominated for the election. The moment you are nominated, you are voted for, and you win against other aspirants, you automatically become a candidate. There is no way, sir. Go back to the Electoral Act. There is no way, there's no place you will see that name placeholder. It's very unfortunate that somebody who calls himself a lawyer can be using a word that is not contained in the Electoral Act. There is nothing like placeholder, sir. You can go and find out. In Labour Party, there was no such agreement for somebody to be called placeholder. There's no such agreement. And by the special grace of God, we all went to school, graduated from the higher institutions. At least we are lettered, we can read and write. Abure cannot confuse us or deceive us with that. Abure is a serial forger. Abure is an unrepentant forger. He was just saying that to deceive people. But I thank God that pressmen like you cannot be deceived because you read wide. You are so exposed. So if you go back to the Electoral Act, you will know whether there is a word called placeholder. The only thing you can see there is aspirant and candidate. So there's something like that, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. My own is very simple. In the case of my own, I am Imasun Monfi, candidate for Uhunmwonde Federal constituency. Labour primaries, I think we had May 2022. Yes, in my constituency there was a placeholder. And the name of that placeholder is Mr. Ikoyeme Ehiwe. I will spell Ikoyeme, please don't be confused. IKUO YEMWEN. Ikoyeme Ehiwe, EHIWE, was the placeholder. And that primary was held in May. I was to substitute, rather I substituted Ehiwe Ikoyeme. Because like I said earlier, if you see the withdrawal letter, it's dated 8th of July 2022. And the payment acknowledgement receipt for the 3 million naira that I paid is dated 13th of July, the day of the substitution primary. Would I have been a placeholder in May and paying 3 million naira on the day of the substitution primary? Sometimes you look like he said, and he's a lawyer. Then there is another letter here that I mentioned before, that Kelly Ogbaloy, who is the Edo State Labour Party chairman as at then, sent to me, directing me to send 3 million naira to Labour Party National Office in Abuja. And it's dated 7th July 2022. So if I'm the placeholder, why were they collecting money from me, knowing that I was only asked to hold brief for whoever they would sell the seat to. So I was never a placeholder, neither do I have any agreement with Julius Abure. Like I said, there is an audio conversation between me and him where he was begging me not to go to court, and where the state chairman was condemning him for this unholy act. So that is it.
Yeah, yes, I want to, in fact, I'm hearing this word first, press holder. Is it?
Placeholder.
Placeholder, I'm hearing this for the first time. I think this is just this is a system formulated by Abure, just to achieve his criminality. How can a gubernatorial candidate be a placeholder? Somebody who passed through primaries, INEC, his name is if you accept, you just want to deceive people. If somebody is holding something for you and later you need that thing back, won't you go back to him genuinely and say, give me the key to that store, let me go and carry that thing that you kept? Will you now go to forge and key? So I don't know, nobody can be, I wasn't a placeholder. Nothing like that is existing. If he is deceiving, he just wants to deceive people. It's just a federal fraudulent system of taking something that doesn't belong to somebody.
So what you can only say is give us all the documents.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.